I guess this means more money, more problems for you.
Yeah, I guess so. More money, more problems. It's just the way it is.
I get it. I get it. Counting all these bands took me a while just to damn run it up. Multi-millions, I feel 100 up.
That's real, yo. I ain't exaggerating at all, man. The more money you make, the more problems you get. And jealousy and envy is something that comes with the territory, man.
I was trying to give you a character with positivity, but have all the stuff and the trappings that the people successful in the inner city looked up to.
I was trying to give you a character
with positivity, but have all the stuff and the
trappings
that the people successful in the inner city looked up to.
Mo money, mo problems, they say. So why does everyone strive to get rich or die trying? What is it with money that has everyone so perplexed? We know money is an illusion, but it controls us so deeply even within ourselves. Money is the tangible manifestation of energy in this matrix. A human can use its 5 senses on money as energy is transacted from one person to the next. Money is not evil, but it is the great equalizer. Money can't buy you happiness, but it can afford you the things needed to assist you in your goal of contentment. Money is so important to our experience in the matrix. So why is it always distorted in the hands of those who usually have the most? I may have answered my own question, but we see these athletes so lavishly spend their money, and in the general public eye, it is looked down upon. Most would say it's irresponsible how athletes spend their money. And more often than not, the public is correct, and the athlete ends up broke. And it's always pinned on the athlete. But should that 100% be the case? Yes, every individual is responsible for the decisions that they make. But could it be that the Matrix has programmed a certain perspective of money in a way that so many people really can't obtain its true power to enhancing their life? Take poor kids from a shaky family foundation and lackluster education, give them a boatload of money for the first time in their life? Of course, they will mismanage it. But to make matters worse, they get publicly shamed for their pitfall, while the public isn't really taking the full picture into consideration. The Matrix programs a specific picture into the public's head about the monetary rise and fall of athletes. Then, when they try to get an edge to move up in the financial ranks to real financial freedom, they are met, just like the average person, with a barricade blocking them from reaching far up the ladder. Then again, they are shamed and made an example out of to the public, while the elite do the exact same thing behind the scenes. Let's start with the trappings.
My first check was for like $500,000. $33.5 million for 7 years. And then I went on a splurge. The first thing I bought for myself was a Cadillac Escalade. I wanted earrings that, were $30,000. I always wanted a Porsche, but didn't need the Porsche at the exact same time. I had the Escalade and a tricked out Denali.
When the NFL draft begins tonight, all 32 first-round picks might feel as though they are set for life, but not so fast. It doesn't always turn out that way.
This month, we learned former NFL superstar Warren Sapp has filed for bankruptcy. As Rebecca Jarvis reports, he's not the only big name who's gone broke.
I think the 80s and the 90s are where you see the real explosion of revenues in sports, to the point where we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry in each and every league.
Murray Chass was probably the first journalist to really get the importance and the impact of the business side of sports. What players were getting, what their contracts called for. Everybody wants to know the figures. The numbers are so enormous. When you start talking about 8 figures, 9 figures, people are interested in that. Contract figures are readily available. Some guys didn't even know how to write a check, because they never had to. Some guys don't even know how to open up a bank account.
I cashed my first check in the NFL at a cash and joint, which I think they laughed at me,
I lost 2 houses back to back. I lost 4 houses. Man, you keep this up, you could be broke.
A lot of times when you see that an athlete went quote unquote broke, you tend to look at that athlete and say what the average person would say.
How could that possibly happen?
How could that possibly happen? He's a dummy. He's an idiot.
Yeah, he blowing it all on girls and cars.
Totally.
Irresponsible, blah, blah, blah.
I spent this first contract helping everybody out, including myself. And you laugh at all of the dumb purchases you made. And plus, you're older. So you're not going to make the same dumb mistakes that you were making earlier in your career. That's just an absolute fact. They lost it because their parents and divorces and having too many kids.
It's the beginning of a career that brings the fame and fortune they've always dreamed of.
I'm just extremely grateful to have.
But for many, it's the beginning of a financial nightmare.
This is an alpha male sport, and you think you're going to be on top of your game for forever.
They're perceived as having a great deal of money all of a sudden, and so people think that they can take advantage of that. Family members, financial advisors, and others put a target on their backs for potential scams.
The athlete realizes his money isn't as long as it needs to be to continue the lifestyle he would like to live after his playing days are over. Instead of trying to find another skill outside of being a professional athletic entertainer, the athlete takes up investment risks to cash out big.
Today, the SEC filed insider trading charges against Michael Kendricks, formerly a linebacker with the world champion Philadelphia Eagles.
That breaking news, a Browns player is facing federal charges. Linebacker Michael Kendricks has been indicted for insider trading. Sports reporter Lauren Brill is in the newsroom with the latest for us. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Terrence. Yeah, the drama with the Browns seems to be never ending. This time, it's nothing that happened on the field, but something that happened with a player's money. Linebacker Michael Kendricks is facing federal charges for insider trading, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. The linebacker releasing a statement apologizing and admitting guilt, saying in part, "I would like to apologize. 4 years ago, I participated in insider trading, and I deeply regret it. I invested money with a former friend of mine who I thought I could trust and who I greatly admired." He went on to apologize to the fans, the Browns and the Eagles, as well as the NFL. Officials say the charges against Kendricks could lead to jail time.
If convicted, both gentlemen are facing what could be substantial prison time.
Kendricks paid Sonoike in cash and celebrity perks. The cash payments were made at in-person meetings, including one at 30th Street Station, where Sonoike rode the train to pick up his money. Some of the perks included things like tickets to Eagles games and arranging for Sonoike to visit Kendricks on the set of a pop star's music video. Insider trading threatens investor confidence in the fairness and integrity of our markets. We will continue to dedicate our resources to pursuing insider traders and holding them accountable, regardless of their celebrity or their status.
Regardless of their celebrity or their status.
Of course, being a famous athlete would afford you an opportunity to not so known information in the business world. Would you not use that to your advantage if you were an athlete?
Advisors. There's somebody out there that's going to pitch you an investment. And if you're easily going to have that money sitting out there like that, then it can easily be taken. Nightclubs, private businesses, strip joints, car deals, restaurant deals. Very few of those work out.
Guys open up restaurants, and that's one of the most volatile type of industries that you can get in.
Car wash, probably the worst one. Car wash. Hey, this is Brad Hopkins. Keep up with the Joneses by keeping your car looking like a champion.
Sharks in the hood, the gang bangers and the drug dealers, you ain't seen nothing till you step into some of these white-collar criminals.
I know many people have had money wired out of their accounts into private equity deals or into other accounts without their knowledge. A lot of signature forgery, and those are criminal.
Kendricks was fed the trading information by Demelaire Sonoike, a Goldman Sachs employee, according to the Securities and Exchange Commission complaint. Sonoike told Kendricks about corporate acquisitions his bank was advising before they were announced publicly. Kendricks, who is currently a free agent, then purchased securities in the 4 companies that he was told. He made about $1.2 million in the deal. That's no money compared to what the real elite make off insider trading. We all understand that Kendricks and Sonoike was wrong, but that is not painting the full picture on the matter. Average people all think celebrities have it way better because of the money. Celebrities aren't exempt from the pitfalls that await anyone in this matrix. Their personal matters is just reported on in the news. What's funny is that the SEC is so adamant on cracking down inside traders and financial crooks of all shapes and sizes,
regardless of their celebrity or their status.
But why don't they ever go after the elite big guys? Is it so much about the money? The SEC wants to keep it out of the quote-unquote bad guys' hands? Or is it more about subliminally telling people, if you try to get an edge in this matrix, outside of the parameters you were given, you will be punished, while those who deem themselves elite don't follow their own prescribed rules? Could this just be another energy game? Money provides freedom points, the ability to do more. Isn't that energy? Could the general population having more energy be a bad thing for the elite? They wouldn't be in power, would they?